Welcome to another episode of the Pennock Knockdown, a podcast where we unpack key tips and strategies for digital marketing leaders. I've got Lori Fields with me today. I'm so excited to have her on the phone to talk about all things, most likely Amazon marketing, because that's her specialty. But Lori, welcome to the show and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you. Lovely to see you. So let's see. I have been working with Amazon first as a seller for the past 15 years or so. And I started, as I said, as a seller. That company was acquired, and then I transitioned into providing Amazon services through J Street.
And so, what kind of brands are you working with at J Street? Is it really anyone who wants to get on Amazon? Do you have a niche? Tell us a little bit about the portfolio mix of clients.
Sure. We work with under the overarching wellness category. So beauty, health, OTCs, CPG goods. So kind of really just under the overarching health and wellness.
Love it. That's a great category and one that's still growing so substantially. So great to hear. So
Yeah.
you were able to sell your business that you were selling on Amazon.
Yes.
How did you then decide that agency was the next thing you wanted to do?
That's a good question. So this is my third business. The other two were previously acquired. It was an e-com. The one that was acquired as prior to this one was called Neighborhoodies. I'll answer your question in a second, just giving some color. It was a multi-channel type of e-com business. And before that, I was in the pet products industry, which was very interesting as well and a great experience. So it was I don't come from the agency world. I come from the brand side. And this was like a natural progression because we were an early Amazon seller and kind of adopted Amazon fairly early. And just there was a lot of need in the market for consulting services for help, essentially.
Awesome. So you've been doing this for how many years now under J Street?
Well, officially, we're going into our sixth year. And then before that, was doing consulting for some larger business units of public companies. So, yeah, 6 years. And I don't know if you know this, Nikki, we just added TikTok shop services.
Oh, that's great. Congrats for doing that. I mean, it sounds like the time is ripe to be making that addition to your services.
Yeah, we're a TikTok shop approved partner agency. We started kind of, I guess, when they started the program, which was October in the US, which was October 2024. And we were, early into the program. And yeah, it's been a whirlwind. It's a pretty recent addition, the past 8 months.
Well, and I imagine a lot of your existing clients probably need help over there. So it's a easy service addition for some of your existing clients, which is always fun to have as an agency owner.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely fun and very fast paced. Yes, there's a lot of crossover. They kind of go hand in hand, really.
Totally. Tell us a little bit about the overall services, because I know when you think about Amazon and now you think about TikTok too, there's storefront management, there's inventory management, there's the organic side of things, SEO, whatever we call that in the future, and paid, and probably some things I'm forgetting. Are you doing all of those things for the brands you work with, or are there certain parts of what happens on Amazon and TikTok that you are specializing in?
Okay, I'm going to take Amazon and then TikTok. So we do full stack on both. With Amazon, we handle everything. If there's a new brand that's looking to launch on Amazon, we take care of everything, creating the account for them. If there's an existing brand that needs to pivot for some reason, we kind of take care of all of usually the full stack as well, and kind of make the pivot with the previous agency or the in-house person that's been handling it. So we do SEO, we do PPC, we do review management, we do a lot with inventory planning and logistics, even helping brands kind of ship in if they're producing in Europe, or, ship in directly to Amazon, handle those logistics, and then kind of do financial projections and back into ad spend. So once we're working with a client, we can project out, for the year of what they're looking to be around the parameters of what they're looking to achieve with the ad spend. And we do the organic as well. We also do the off-platform we coordinate with off-platform, social to coordinate attribution links. And then we handle creator connections, which is the Amazon affiliate program as well.
Yeah. So really full stack, everything and anything you could want on Amazon.
Yes. And troubleshoot. So, which happens because it's such a holistic, like 360 marketplace, because the account health as compared to like Meta or Google, like really kind of has a huge part, and reviews. And there's like a lot of other types of levers. And then as far as TikTok, yeah, TikTok is very fast, as we all know. And it's kind of a very new platform in the US. And so we're handling full stack on that as well in terms of TikTok shop, not TikTok organic content. So it's a different situation. So we're handling the establishment of the account, because most people are new. We're also handling the product approval process, which is kind of a big deal with TikTok shop, with beauty, wellness, anything that's a consumable or topical. We're handling the reviews, the creator outreach, coordinating the UGC ads, and actually some live streaming as well.
Wow. And that includes TikTok affiliates too, I imagine, right? Is that kind of what
the TikTok affiliates. Like, I use the word affiliates, creators, influencers within TikTok shop interchangeably. So yeah. So the affiliates are a huge part of it, but I do believe that ads will be a bigger part as things go on.
Great. So now that we understand, you kind of know so much about running in both of these e-commerce environments, what are some of the common misconceptions that you still hear on, you can tackle them one at a time?
It's another good question. So the misconceptions, I think, about Amazon, this is a pretty big one, is that can be historically, you could be on Amazon as an Amazon only brand. That is not the case anymore. And I don't recommend it for any brands, because again, a holistic, and I'll probably bring that word up a lot, environment where it's an omni-channel, where everything kind of has to work together. So basically, the D2C, the social, the just other distribution, if you have other off-platform distribution, in terms of like if you're selling into other accounts, they all reinforce each other, and it's super important for brand awareness. Amazon craves off-platform traffic, so it's super important to establish your brand, and having an Amazon only business doesn't speak to that. So I think that people are still sometimes not brands that are looking to kind of grow as a 360 type of business, but some smaller sellers perhaps think that you can just start on Amazon, but you really need to start with building the brand, and to that point, TikTok shop. So TikTok shop I'll go back to Amazon for a second, because I just want to make the contrast. Amazon is an intent-based platform where the customer is coming with an intent. I need X, I need anything from Q-tips to a bra. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? So, or an eyeliner, or a vitamin C serum, or what have you. And they might come, like I'll use my own personal experience. I was looking for a specific eyebrow pencil, like a brand that I follow. And, maybe I could get it on Amazon. I could just throw it in with my Prime delivery. This would be great. So they're coming with the intent. TikTok shop, and then I'll go back to the misconceptions about TikTok shop. TikTok shop is a discovery. So basically, it's impulse/discovery. So if most people aren't going to TikTok saying, I need a lipstick, or I need a lip gloss, or I'm looking for that. They're kind of they're stumbling on it, or basically becoming aware of it through the creator/affiliate promotion, or perhaps an amplified ad or something in the feed. So I think that right now, it's very difficult. I think TikTok is great for awareness and top of funnel. and the virality is really, and I'm a realist, I'm a New Yorker, I will always say that. I'm very straightforward. And basically, most brands are not going viral. Most products aren't going viral. It's more of the exception rather than the rule. But that being said, I still think that TikTok Shop is great for awareness. And obviously, we're going to do sales. But it's hard to go onto that platform with a 3 or even 6 month trajectory saying, we want to blow this out. It's a longer term play.
Yeah.
And I think the jury's still out a little bit. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, I think that's a really great way to summarize some of the biggest misconceptions that I'm not working in your space specifically, but I believe those to probably be what my clients would be saying too. When you're projecting, like let's say a brand has been around for a few years, but it's definitely not hit mainstream anything. In fact, it's really hardly existing, maybe like 20K a month in e-commerce sales.
Mhm.
And that would include potentially just a little bit coming from Amazon or who knows, maybe all of it, but a really small brand at 20K a
Mhm.
month in revenue. If they were going on to TikTok for the first time, setting up their shop, and
Mhm.
their point one was do affiliates because it's a little bit less cash intensive, I guess. You
Mhm.
pay for what sells. When do you think they would start seeing return on investment for running a program like that, assuming, they're paying you or someone to do the TikTok affiliate management?
I think that, do they have any organic presence like built out a little bit?
A little bit, like maybe it's still under like 10K followers on the
Okay.
platform and like socials everywhere are just kind of like existing.
Okay. I really think that you need to give it 6 months.
Mhm.
I think that's very realistic. But I think it's 3 to 6 months, but
Sure.
3 is really tight, like, without significant brand awareness. So, and with basically as a new brand on on TikTok Shop, and also without having significant sales. But there's one other thing that I haven't mentioned is that there's a direct correlation between TikTok and Amazon, and there is an amplification of the brand. So basically, what's going to happen, you have to look at it for a bunch of different reasons. So, what the return on investment, like from the ecom side, and also what you're getting on the lift from Amazon, because it's going to elevate the brand, and you're going to have people looking for the brand on Amazon just because of the stability
Sure.
of that platform, right? And Prime, and just the adoption of the Amazon's extremely mature platform. So we don't have attribution links at the moment from TikTok to Amazon. Amazon hasn't introduced those yet. Will they be coming? I'm pretty sure they will. There are attribution links now from TikTok Shop to Shopify, but there's definitely anecdotally a lift.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think that's hard. And maybe we deal with more bootstrapped, really early stage businesses than you do, but just the waiting game. And then it's like, okay, 3 months happens and the traction is only at this level. Should we call it now, or is there some sign of life? And then at that 6 month mark, similarly, like, it's really hard for an early stage founder to do this for 6 months and be like, oh gosh, that didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, we deal with early stage brands too, bootstrap. So we're dealing with we have the same client profile, I believe. So we kind of do a success fee, like we're more dependent on a success fee on TikTok Shop, aside from the startup period. So we have different ways that we can work to make it palatable, especially if we believe in the brand and we're working as a partner. So yeah, I think that to that point, there's going to be some traction by ends of month 3. There's definitely going to be some traction. It's not like all of a sudden we're like at 6 month mark, we're like, okay, here it comes. But
Mhm.
there's definitely a trajectory that will start becoming apparent at month 3. I think that if we're facing that and we need more time, we're willing to kind of shift in terms of how we work, because we're a small agency as well. We're a boutique agency and we want to support our partners. So
Right.
there's flexibility there.
I love talking about the early stage brand story because it is something that's so near and dear to us too. When you're talking to these brands and let's say, they've got their shop ready, they're going to do some GMV ads and they're going to work with the creators, affiliates, partners, whatever we want to call them on TikTok. Do you recommend like a certain threshold of samples they should be sending to new affiliate partners on a monthly basis? Because people throw out numbers all the time. I'd just love to kind of understand how you approach a subject like how much are we seeding or gifting to these potential affiliate partners who may or may not even post.
Yeah, we follow up on them quite a bit to make sure that they're posting. I mean, of
Yeah.
course, we can't, be there with them and say, you need to post, but there's quite a lot of follow up. But yeah, I think you're probably speaking to the 100 samples a month thing that is like the quote unquote 100 samples a month. I mean, there's different ways that people look at the affiliates within TikTok Shop. That was the spray and pray kind of quote unquote, how people called it. Then with larger brands, and then I'll come back to because we're working with smaller brands. They're kind of saying, well, we need this affiliate pay for play type of budget with the affiliates. And obviously our brands can't do that. So we're really kind of focusing on, even though it's a content driven machine platform. So we're kind of dealing with quality rather than quantity. And we are vetting a little bit more. And yeah, and then it's kind of a balancing act because the brands are new. So the affiliates want more established brands, but we're having to kind of like pay on the commission side, basically a little bit of a higher commission to start because we are newer, we don't have traction on sales, but we don't really believe that we're going to have to we don't really believe in the spray and pray. We believe in being more strategic.
So then switching gears a little bit, and thank you for like entertaining all my questions that are so maybe nuanced and random. We've got some brands, and again, we're consulting them on TikTok Shop setup since that's not a service we offer, that are thinking maybe they have a product assortment line of 20 to 50 SKUs. And they're like, you know what, we're just going to get our 10 best SKUs on TikTok Shop. Do you agree with a strategy like that? Or are you a little bit more like get everything live? Or maybe there's not one right answer here.
I agree with that because I agree with it actually also sometimes for Amazon too, because we never usually take we don't usually take the whole line and just kind of plop it over or, port it over to Amazon because not everything translates. Like sometimes the price points are too high. So we want to see where the white space is, where the brand can succeed. Just going back to TikTok Shop for a second, going where the white space is, where the brand can succeed. And then also, like, in order to do the affiliate outreach, we need to focus on one product to start, actually, or a product family, like if it's like a couple of different shades within one type of product. So we kind of we can put a small grouping, but then we're really going to focus on the hero product that we see for TikTok Shop, which might not be the hero product on D2C.
That makes sense. Finding the white space, which, I'm sure you have research tools and prompts and all of that, but a fun little journey to go through to figure out what you believe the white space will be brand by brand, I can imagine.
Yeah, it is a fun journey. And there's a couple of different software programs that we work with. The software programs for TikTok Shop are they're not even like a year old, or some of them are a year old. Like it's so new as compared to the Amazon ecosystem, but we're in the beginning, like we're at 10 years ago with Amazon. TikTok Shop is 10 years, I think, behind where Amazon is now in maturity. Like this is the beginning.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about fulfillment through TikTok, because I'm hearing that brands have to fulfill through TikTok. I'm hearing that you can get exemptions if you have a good 3PL. What are you hearing around fulfillment?
I'll tell you exactly what it is right now. So brands that will essentially TikTok Shop is building out their logistics ecosystem. It's not nearly there yet. So the options are this. So right now, the change that kind of made the press a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a week or two ago, but was that the drop shipping kind of is a little bit coming to a halt. And that was mostly the overseas type of drop shipping where you can use any type of post from China or wherever it was being sent into the US. So for brands, US brands or brands that are manufacturing or have a 3PL in the US, yes, you still can use your own warehouse. You still can use your 3PL. What you do need to do now is I recommend most brands do this, even if they are grandfathered, because it's just going to be the way that everything's going, is it's more of an Amazon model where you're going into your TikTok shop platform and you're just printing out the label and you're shipping on TikTok Shop's account. So it's kind of equivalent to fulfilled by manufacturer with Amazon. And it's not really a problem. It's actually better. I think it's better because it's going to be a more unified type of process rather than everybody kind of shipping on their own freight account. And I think it had to do with accountability, with tracking and things like that.
Got it. So for the brand owner who right now is just like having it flow through to their Shopify and it's getting packaged and shipped out, is there a potentially a little bit more, at least in the interim, like manual process then that they have to follow to fulfill? Or from a brand owner's perspective, is it like selecting a different button on your like auto setup and then it's basically the same for them?
Well, it still integrates with Shopify. I mean, so it still will integrate, TikTok Shop will still integrate with Shopify with a third party app. So that was always the case. But now, yeah, like it'll be a little bit different. Like if you're shipping from your own warehouse, you would kind of batch those orders like as a separate, you can isolate them and like batch them in a bulk with TikTok Shop's interface. You wouldn't be able, to your point, you wouldn't be able to ship on your own UPS or FedEx or USPS account. You would have to kind of batch them and you can integrate the shipping from TikTok Shop within the Shopify. So it just would be like a different step. Yeah.
Got it. So it's a slightly different workflow, but once it's set up, it's going to be just as automated a
Yeah.
routine as what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting to understand. Okay. So
Yeah.
then the drop shippers who are drop shipping directly from wherever in the world they are, those are the ones that might need to be warehoused, if I'm understanding correctly, through like a TikTok fulfillment center.
They could still ship, but they couldn't. I think what was happening was that it was no, they could still ship from overseas, but they need to ship on within TikTok Shop's freight.
Okay.
So they can't send it like in an obscure freight.
Got it.
Service.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's bizarre how twisted that story can become when it goes out to the news, because I think I had a lot of clients in January, February who were like, "Oh my gosh, tell me what I have to do. Like, are we moving to fulfilled by TikTok? Like,
No,
where's the warehouse going to be?" Da da da. And I'm like, and at that time, all of the publications I could see were, not really validating anything we're talking about here. So I appreciate you.
No, that was really true because like it was my background is heavy in my previous lives, it was heavy in logistics, so I kind of like that part of it too, but it wasn't messaged well at all. It was very confusing, and even from TikTok, themselves. So
Yeah.
that's the real situation though.
Good. Well, that's welcome news to everyone's ears, I think, because everyone's very excited
So
to grow TikTok as part of their like overarching 2025 strategy. Lori, as we're wrapping up here, I think for me, one thing I'd love to know is if you went back to your earlier version of yourself, if this was pre or post those two acquisitions or starting the agency, you can tell us what time frame you want to go back to. What advice would you give yourself?
again, love that. I think that I'm going to go back to the first business I started, which was my pet products business. I think that, there were very few female founder groups and female support. And that is and I'll come back to the advice I would give myself, but that is such a wonderful thing. Think it's the communities that are out there are amazing, and just like networking with other female founders. I love it so much. I would give myself a little bit more grace.
That's good. I appreciate that feedback. I think I would give myself something similar. Lori, it's been a pleasure to have you today. Tell the audience where they can get in touch with you and find out more about what, your service details.
Well, thank you so much, Nikki. This was like, it felt like a minute. I really appreciate you having me on. I can be reached at jstreet.co or Lori, Lori, at jstreet.co.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in today.
Thank you.